watching WTVJ NBC 6, where the news comes first. This is Channel 6 News at 11.
This fire has already burned more than 2,000 acres of the Everglades. This fire torched dozens of acres and shut down US 1 for hours. More proof, 1996 is a big year for wildfires. Good evening, I'm Jose Diaz-Balart. Tony Segreto is off tonight.
And I'm Jennifer Volpe. Now, wildfires have already scorched thousands of acres across South Florida so far this year. A new one flared up this afternoon in Southwest Dade. It's just a few miles from the Metro Zoo, which, of course, was the site of a brush fire over the weekend. NBC 6 reporter Carrie Sanders joins us live tonight. Carrie, 1996 is certainly a big year for brush fires. It really has been incredible.
It not only seems like it's been a big year, but the statistics prove it. From Monroe County all the way up to Palm Beach last year, Division of Forestry had 70 calls for brush fires. So far this year, they've had 140 calls. In part, it's because as I walk along here, listen to this. Hear that? Those are tinder dry conditions, just ripe for a fire. 2,200 acres burn in the Everglades along the Broward-Palm Beach County line this night. Fire experts say this would have been expected if we'd had crippling freezes this winter, but that didn't happen. Still, this has. Even though there were no freezes to kill the brush, it's been excessively dry this year. That, combined with broken branches and tree trunks left over from Hurricane Andrew, have combined to make this one of the worst brush fire seasons in the last 5 years.
We just happen to be in that time frame of the year where the winds are very heavy, the grass is extremely dry, we've experienced very low rainfall, plus the carelessness of people sometimes are what starts these fires. Anything from a cigarette butt to maybe the backfire of a car can start these fires and consume acres within the hour.
For homeowners in Southwest Dade, this was a day of fear and hosing. Were it not for the professionals, this man would have lost his home to the blaze.
Okay, as long as they're here, it'll be okay.
The choking smoke from this brush fire Monday closed off US 1 for hours. Several businesses had to close, and residents in the area who complained of difficulty breathing were encouraged to evacuate. 2 firefighters were overcome by the smoke. They are in good condition. Police rushed from side street to side street this day, closing them down to make a clear path for forestry vehicles and fire trucks. Much of the assault on this 2-square-mile area in Southwest Dade was left to crews in the Metro Dade Fire Department helicopter. Through blinding smoke, the helicopter, with a bucket of water slung under its belly, dropped hundreds of gallons on the fire. After a full day, the work paid off. The fire was under control. What remains are smoldering embers. The hope tomorrow is help from Mother Nature.
Like I said, we just praying for rain. We need it, right?
Yeah.
So as we come out live here, you hear that? That's what the concern is. And as they say, Mother Nature holds the key to helping us all out here in South Florida. Dave Damien, hopefully will have some good news for us later. In West Dade, I'm Carrie Sanders reporting live, NBC 6.
Carrie, thank you. And meanwhile, we do want to add that Metro Zoo is back in business after a weekend fire there forced the evacuation of animals and visitors. Metro Zoo reopened today after smoke and fire closed the zoo down for the first time since Hurricane Andrew. At least 100 acres of zoo property were burned. Workers moved about 35 animals out of harm's way. Veterinarians are closely watching those animals to make sure that they are not suffering from smoke inhalation.
The sole survivor of a crash in the Keys is back home tonight. 10-year-old Matthew Blackburn left Jackson Memorial Hospital this morning. He'll be moved to a hospital closer to his home in Charleston, South Carolina. Matthew was seriously injured when a seaplane carrying him and his family crashed in Key West last weekend. His parents, brother, and sister all died in the crash. There is anger tonight at a Broward condo complex after 2 weekend arson fires. Pompano Beach police are investigating the fires. One was set in a reading room, the other in an elevator. It's not just the fires that have residents of the Palm Air condos upset. Someone also carved a swastika into the wall of another elevator. The mostly elderly and Jewish residents say the vandalism brings back horrible memories.
My mother lost her whole family with Hitler with the swastika, because that's what comes to my mind when I see things like that.
Police say it's too soon into their investigation to tell if it is a hate crime. They are continuing their investigation.
South Floridians protest in Washington to remember the victims of last month's tragedy at sea. Members of the group Brothers to the Rescue went to the Capitol to protest in front of the Cuban intersection. The protest comes 1 month after Cuban MiG shot down 2 Brothers to the Rescue planes. 4 pilots were killed. They were flying over international waters when they were shot down. And civil rights activists made their feelings known about tonight's 68th Annual Academy Awards ceremony.
The Reverend Jesse Jackson and his Rainbow Coalition staged protests outside ABC stations in Los Angeles and nationwide. Jackson says Hollywood is culturally biased. He points to the fact only one African-American, director Diane Abbott, was nominated for the 1996 Oscars presented this year. For those of you who are keeping track, tonight's first big winner was Kevin Spacey. He won Best Supporting Actor for The Usual Suspects. Myra Sorvino picked up an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress in Mighty Aphrodite. For complete coverage of the Oscars, including all the winners, pick up tomorrow's Miami Herald. You'll also find out who had the best and the worst outfits, the scariest couple, even Whoopi's best joke. It's all tomorrow in the Herald. Don't miss it.
Scariest couple?
Apparently.
Okay. Well, we have a special education watch. That's better to show you tonight. The Miami Heat brought 15,000 kids to the arena tonight, but it's the kids and not the players who starred in the annual Stay in School Jam. NBC6 reporter Danielle Knox is live out at the arena to show us what happened inside. Danielle.
Hi, Jen. Well, what happened inside is that the Miami Arena was turned into Party Central for about 15,000 deserving South Florida kids. They have strong academic performances, do very well in school, and have positive attitudes. And tonight they can add something else to that list, a night they'll never forget. They were rewarded here at the arena for all that hard work.
I got chosen because I have good grades and I'm smart. Got my grades up, got good behavior, and, you know, hung in there.
All of these students have hung in there, so now they can let it all hang out. They are being rewarded by the NBA for getting good grades and staying in school, but on this night, no teachers, no books, just a dizzying 2-hour-long party to say congratulations. This Stay in School Jam was all part of the NBA and Miami Heat's year-long Stay in School campaign. The kids look up to these players, but Alonzo Mourning says they should also look up to their parents and their teachers. Also center stage at the arena, R&B singer Monica. She had everyone on their feet, including Zoe. And as a 15-year-old high school student herself, she knows how tough it can be to stay on your feet.
And this is a good time to really let people know, and just to see us out here, they know that we support them, and this gives them something to look forward to.
After Monica came rapper Method Man, followed by R&B group The Barrio Boys.
It's very rough nowadays, and living in the hood, in the street, when you have negative influences and a lot of drugs.
Now, the kids were picked by their teachers to attend this event. This is about the 4th year the Miami Heat has participated in this Stay in School Jam, and as you can see, everybody had a really good time here tonight. Reporting live from the Miami Arena, Danielle Knox, NBC6.
Danielle, thank you, and obviously we want to encourage all the kids to stay in school, and we want to encourage all the rest of us to stay right here in South Florida.
Absolutely. There's a reason for that, because this is what spring looks like. Not this. Let's see it. Is there spring in the Midwest? Look, that is today in the Midwest. Have a nice day.
Unbelievable. Also coming up, wait until you hear what's about to happen to the Grand Canyon first thing in the morning.
Also, I'm sure many of you have something to say about Miami International Airport, but are the airport managers really listening? Find out when we come back.
You know, for over 40 years, weather has been my life. South Florida has been my home. See, a weather forecast is more than just telling you if the sun is going to shine. People depend on us, especially when the weather gets serious.
That's why I made forecasting hurricanes my specialty. But putting together the best weather forecast takes more than just our high-tech weather computers. It takes a team that really knows South Florida.
The NBC6 weather team. Another reason why NBC6 is where the news comes first.
Later on the Tonight Show, Jay's a big winner tonight. With Garth Brooks performing 2 huge hits, supermodel Kathy Ireland and actor Johnny Depp, but Jay won't let winning go to his head.
There's a brand new Cadillac right outside with the interior de elegance right in front of you. Get the boys, take a little ladder. Thank you very much.
Then Conan's got Richard Lewis tonight.
Channel 6 News at 11 is brought to you in part by your South Florida Ford dealers.
Don't miss the madness. Ford's March Madness. Your final chance to get fantastic deals on 13 feature-packed Ford cars and trucks. Your last shot at 4.8% financing or up to $1,000 cash back. drive America's best-selling truck, the Ford F-150, and get 4.8% financing for up to 48 months or $600 cash back. Or choose to lease the 96 F-150 for only $189 a month for 24 months. Rush like mad to your South Florida Ford dealer now. Ends April 2nd.
Beneath your home lies another home, the home of millions of hungry subterranean termites with hundreds of tunnels stretching thousands of yards. There's nothing termites won't do to ultimately eat you out of house and home. That was until Centricon, the first ever colony elimination system that monitors and baits to get termites where they live. For the name of the authorized pest control operator nearest you, call this number and get their home before they get yours.
The calendar says March 23rd, but Old Man Winter is still flexing his muscles, giving the Midwest and Plain States some unwelcome spring storms. Some of the places that were buried today under a foot of new snow, like here in St. Paul, Minnesota. The winds are more than 50 miles an hour in some places, with heavy snow combining to make blizzard-like conditions. In Iowa, the students on this school bus escaped serious injury after it slid on a patch of ice. Iowa is getting the brunt of the storm, with one county in a state of emergency tonight and others may declare by dawn tomorrow.
And topping our look at news from around the nation tonight, 2 stories about involving man trying to undo the damage that was done by past generations. We begin with the Grand Canyon. In just a few hours, the dam holding back the Colorado River is going to be open wide for a week. It will hopefully simulate the springtime floods that happened annually before that dam was built. The government hopes that the floods will recreate beaches and restore the canyon's natural wildlife. Meanwhile, here in Florida, environmentalists have been saying that the sugar industry is destroying up to 5 acres of the Everglades every day. Well, today the group Save Our Everglades says it's going to reintroduce its proposal to make growers pay a penny a pound sugar tax. The money would go toward glades cleanup and restoration. Back in 1994, the state Supreme Court, threw out the proposed amendment on a technicality.
Quebec's efforts to cut its deficit could have a big impact on South Florida's tourism industry. Tens of thousands of French Canadians spend part of their winter here in our beaches. Tonight, Quebec's premier says the government will have to cut back on how much it pays for its citizens who need hospital care outside the province. Most of that money goes to the Quebecers here in South Florida. Details of the cutbacks should be announced on Wednesday.
And Quebecers are just some of the millions of tourists who flock here every year.
And many use Miami International Airport. Most like it, others don't. But do airport officials actually read people's comments?
Also, there's a new way to supposedly get rid of a smoker's nicotine addiction. They say just breathe in.
Amazing. And later, the great Mikhail Baryshnikov brings his White Oak Company to South Florida. We'll be right back.
What if there were a restaurant, a fitness center, even daycare all at your work? Tuesday at 11, Bob Mayer shows you one South Florida business that has it all. Is this the workplace of the future? Tuesday at 11 on Channel 6 News, where the news comes first.
Meet a young woman struggling to cope with her father's murder.
My dad was full of arsenic poisoning.
And the fact that her mother was the murderer. Mothers who nearly got away with murder on the next Montel.
Montel at 4 on NBC 6.
Are you ready to rock the house, baby? It's Mercury Madness. It's unbelievable, baby. It's unbeatable. The all-new, all-star, all-world Mercury Sable. Now with awesome financing or big cash back. Mercury Villager. This team busts a lot with this mega bonus. Mercury Grand Marquis. You're going to love this car all the way to the bank. Time to cut the nut and start celebrating.
Imagine yourself in a Mercury now.
Imagine that, baby.
Have you ever had a bad experience getting in or out of Miami International Airport?
Well, some people say they do, whether it's a good experience or a bad one. Airport management wants you to tell them about it, and as NBC6 reporter Susan Wallace shows us, suggestions do lead to solutions.
33 million people pass through Miami International each year, and as a surprise to almost no one, not all are happy with the operations here. For the first time, we're seeing some of the comments left behind by travelers at the new suggestion stations planted throughout the airport.
This one says, no trolley carts at arrival for luggage. Very bad.
That passenger and many others are grumbling about the lack of luggage carts for passengers pulling bags off the carousels. In other words, unless you hire one of these guys, you are your own pack horse.
They are a help when you're at the airport and you've got all this luggage. They are a help.
Help is on the way.
Right now we have them for international passengers for free,
coming through Customs and Immigration. By the first of the year, we'll have them for everyone throughout the whole terminal.
Back to those complaints.
This one says, Los precios son muy altos. The prices are very high. This is a visitor from Venezuela.
She grumbles about the high cost of a meal at the airport, not to mention a pack of gum at the newsstand. And again, she's not alone.
Bad news.
Too high?
Too high. Much too high.
Prices should come down when the airport puts new retail rules into effect. Everything at MIA should eventually cost what it now costs in a mall.
All right, this is the kind they like. Proud to have any international visitor enter U.S. here.
MIA takes pride in its operation, but occasionally terminal manager Dickie Davis gets some nasty comments from disgruntled passengers.
Situations happen to them that are totally out of our control. Bad weather, perhaps, that makes the flight very, very late. Mechanical problems, things that are totally out of our control.
For the most part, though, those who bother to fill out the forms are not bothered by the way the airport runs. And as long as the customers are happy, hopefully they'll keep coming back.
For every traveler who offers a complaint or a compliment, the aviation department writes a personalized note, not only thanking them for their comments, but detailing what the airport plans to do about them. Susan Wallace, NBC 6.
Well, there are 5 comment stations scattered around the airport. You can also comment at the terminal information desks.
In health news, if you're a smoker and want to quit, help will soon be as close as a pump spray bottle. The FDA has approved the sale of a nicotine nasal inhalant called Nicotrol NS. Scientists say the nasal spray is much more powerful than nicotine patches or nicotine gum. The spray will only be available through prescription. The FDA says smokers should use it for just 3 months, never more than 6 months.
Interesting. Did you notice on the thing in the airport, they had to all be passengers, because if they were people picking up the passengers, they might have commented on what it's like when you try and pick people up that are arriving. Huh?
That's not quite fair.
Have to throw those in the suggestion box next time. Anyway, how's the weather out there? Are we going to get any
rain?
Relief from
Probably
these brush
not.
fires?
You know, no real big fronts coming. Once again, setting up another situation where any fronts that are coming down now will be blocked, and the ones that have made it through really haven't had a lot of weather. With it. By the way, good to be back. Missed you, Jen. Jose, I don't know about
to have you. We missed you.
You were on vacation, I believe, weren't you?
I was, Jose. And you were sick, right?
Yeah, I was feeling better. I knew you were gone.
Yeah.
I noticed.
Yeah.
All right, now that we've gotten that out of the way, thank you.
Let's move on to bigger and brighter things, I suppose. Live shot from Mount Sinai camera, and the winds have come down a little bit, but still quite breezy out there, especially along the beaches. And folks, the winds are going to stay up, so we're still going to have this brush fire around for the next couple of days anyway. At the airport in Miami, 73, humidity is up. That's good. It's good to have high humidity values. Hey, look at that camera jump. That was cool. East wind at 15, pressure is steady from 30-15. And no rain since midnight, unfortunately. We could use some. We hit 79 today. The record is 89. That's kind of hot. And normals are 80 and 65 for this date. What's going on? Well, look what's happening over the last couple hours. The storms in North Florida have really faded out, and that front's beginning to kind of flatten out a little bit. Look how those storms are kind of tilting back a little bit. So they're really not coming down in our direction. We're still going to have that persistent southeasterly flow. So a few showers in the morning, but other than that, we'll see plenty of sunshine tomorrow in between the clouds. Close up on the Doppler radar this evening, and we have a few showers offshore here in Dade County, and a few more just about to move into Broward County, but really nothing of significance. These are just quick little passing showers. And over the last couple of hours up in North Florida, you can see the progression of the thunderstorms, but now they are beginning to fade out. We have had some wind damage reports, and really nothing very tremendous up there. A few hail reports as well. So things are quieting down. Looks like the severe weather event for North Florida is indeed over. Bigger view of everything shows the cold front right through here, wrapping around a low-pressure system up in here, and all this stuff back here as of 3 o'clock this afternoon through the evening is snow. It's beginning to diminish a little bit, but still a lot of cold air back behind this system. But the front, once again, going about as far south as it's going to get. So not looking for a cold front this week, folks. But look at the temperatures at Chicago, 18. Minneapolis is 4. Jacksonville is 63 right along the front, but cooling down a little bit at Atlanta. Okay, here's the forecast map for tomorrow very briefly. A few showers for Atlanta possibly. Windy sunshine at New York. 32 for the high at Chicago tomorrow. So winter is still not over up there in the Great White North. If you're boating, small craft, use caution. Southeast winds 15 knots or so, seas 3 to 5 feet. Still not a perfect day to boat. Bay's a moderate chop, surf temperature 70. For tonight, some showers off the ocean here and there, about 68. No major washout. For tomorrow, some early showers, a breezy, sunny mix in the afternoon, about 79, kind of like today. And the next couple days, maybe a shower on Wednesday, and then high pressure takes control once again. We warm up and stay breezy through the end of the week. So no relief from the wind, unfortunately. Jose and Jen, back to you.
Okay, Dave, thanks you very much. Well, another big day at the Lipton. It's next in sports. Could Miami's Mary Jo Fernandez pull it off tonight facing top-seeded Steffi Graf?
Plus, the Marlins get serious. The season opens a week from tonight. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
This is tonight's Florida Lottery New Fantasy 5 game for March 25th, 1996. Match all 5 numbers and be one of over 100 weekly winners taking home an estimated $20,000 each. All drawings are supervised by Lottery Security and certified by Lovelace Robin Company, Moore Stevens International. Now here's Missy Brantley with tonight's New Fantasy 5 numbers. The first number is 4. The second number is 16. The third number is 13. The fourth number is 23, and the fifth number is 2. So tonight's New Fantasy 5 numbers are 4, 16, 13, 23, and 2. Don't miss the next Florida Lottery's Flamingo Fortune Game Show, right here on this station. Check your local TV listings for date and time. Good night and good luck, Florida.
Real-time closed captioning on 6 News is brought to you by aluminum roll-up shades and shutters.
And good evening, everybody. Steffi Graf, Stadium Court tonight, taking on Miami's Mary Jo Fernandez here in the near court. Mary Jo trying to change the storyline. 13-0 lifetime against Mary Jo as Graf. Now, Fernandez plays her best tennis in the second game, holding serve with the winner right there, but turned out to be a rerun tonight. In fact, even worse, not even competitive. The top seed rolls to the quarters, 6-1, 6-love. Now, earlier today, the 4th seed Gabby Sabatini and a red bandana taking on the wild card Jennifer Capriati and her purple or violet fingernails. I don't know, what do they look like? Purple? What?
Not purple, blue.
All right, they're blue. Thank you, Jennifer. What's wrong with purple? As for the match, Sabatini pulled out all the stops today. Backhand touch. Lures Capriati in, the lob for the winner. Gabby took the first set 6-1. Jennifer came on late second, looked more confident, a little more aggressive with shots like this one for the winner. But even her family's enthusiasm couldn't do it today. Sabatini goes to the quarters, earning her way there. It was a tougher match than the score looks. 6-1, 6-4. Now, other women's action today, no big upsets. 3rd seed Anka Uber moves on. 5th seed Kimiko Date will play Graf tomorrow. And number 6 seed Chanda Rubin also moves on. Why is this woman happy? Because her fiancé has just advanced into the next round at the Lipton. Looks very familiar. The face, here's Andre Agassi. Found himself in a 3-set battle today against Jean-Philippe Fleurien, the 115th ranked player in the world. Great overhand shot by Florian, but Agassi gets the point. Now match point, great volley by Agassi. He wins it 6-2, 4-6, 6-2, and he professed his love for the Lipton.
Love this tournament. It's my favorite stop of the year. Playing this tournament. It's definitely suited for those quick at feet, you know, to always adjust and be in position. I enjoy the time on the court in front of a very educated crowd, and I enjoy the time off the court in a great city.
Loves the Magic City. Elsewhere tonight, Byron Black losing in straight sets to number 7 Jim Courier. Earlier today, Lipton's all-time winner Stefan Edberg advancing. All right, Marlins fans, it is not time to panic, or is it? With 1 week to go before opening day, Marlins have the worst exhibition record in the entire Grapefruit League. Today in Melbourne, Florida gets an early jump on the Detroit Tigers. Kilvio Veras with the single-scoring Charles Johnson. Marlins led 4-1 in the 4th. Next batter, Devon White will drive home Kurt Abbott. Florida led 6-1. I'd like to see Thomas come in there. After 5 innings, time for the bullpen to do the job right. Wrong. Tigers score 2 in the 9th and a couple of more in the 10th. 9-7 victory. Marlins reliever Matt Wisenhunt walked 4 of the first 5 Tigers he faced in the 9th. Once again, regular season starts a week from tonight. Yipes. On to the NBA. San Antonio Spurs, 13 straight wins. Entering tonight's game against New Jersey, David Robinson. Big game. The alley-oop there with one hand. New Jersey had 1 3-pointer all year from that guy. Here's his second one. Jason Williams from 3/4 court. Later, though, it's the Spurs smiling. Sean Elliott with 35. The Spurs have won 14 in a row, 95-88. Elsewhere, NBA, Utah leads Dallas in the 4th, and Portland all over Philly as they start the 3rd quarter. NHL tonight, Philadelphia moves ahead of Florida in the 3rd spot in the playoff battle, 3-0 over Hartford. Montreal wins Detroit over Anaheim. Toronto leads Calgary in the 2nd. LA and Vancouver are scoreless in the 1st. Finally, Thinking of shopping at the last minute for tickets to this weekend's Final Four in New Jersey? Well, forget it. Unless you've got money to burn, tickets are going for as much as $8,000 each for your court-side seats. That's the day in sports. Back to Jennifer and Jose. $8 grand.
Thank you very much.
Okay, here's something else you'll want good seats for. Baryshnikov is getting ready to show off.
Yep, perhaps the world's greatest ballet company brings the show to South Florida. We'll have that story when we come back.
Things aren't always what they seem.
The White Oak Dance Project is blossoming.
Mikhail Baryshnikov's modern dance company is actually kicking off its third year now. Tonight's performance at the Broward Center of the Performing Arts in Fort Lauderdale is just the beginning. On Wednesday, the show's going to move right over to Miami Beach, and before the summer is over, the company will have traveled Florida, Australia, and New Zealand. By the way, White Oak is the name of the estate where the group practices.
It's a beautiful site, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful site.
I'm a big Baryshnikov fan.
He's the best.
He can sure jump.
Oh, by the way, we should add, for those of you who are not watching the Oscars, still no Best Actor, still no Best Actress, and that means no Best Movie.
No Best
Awards. Yeah,
so, see, you watched the show, this show, you got informed, and you didn't miss anything.
That's right.
Today, tomorrow on Today in South Florida at 5:30, they'll have the answers for you. How's that?
That was confusing, but I think I understood it.
I confused myself there.
It changed. Normally, I'm the one who confuses. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night, everybody. Jay Leno's next.
Bye-bye.
In shopping for a luxury performance